Well, it's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon here at the farm, and I'm out here with 6 dogs off leash, and I don't have Badger, Samson, and Bella out. They're chained up near the house because yesterday I had all 8 dogs out here, and Bella and Ginger got into a fight, and then Samson and Badger got into it and started fighting each other, and so I'm just separating them for a day or so, and then I'll get them back out here together again, because one of the things I learned about dogs fighting from some of the really good trainers I follow is that um, dogs don't hold a grudge, but you got to get them back together or it simmers, and then it gets to a point where they're always going to fight. So Samson and Badger had been fighting last year when the girls got in the heat, and Bella and Ginger have fought a couple of times. Uh, and yesterday, this thing just started because I had Ginger at my feet and Bella at my feet, both looking for treats, and I didn't give it to them right away because I was distracted looking at the other dogs. And then all of a sudden, they just started fighting at my feet. So I think they pushed into each other's space a little bit, and somebody didn't like it, and next thing I know, they were fighting, and I couldn't call them off. And then Samson saw what was happening and came running across the field, and he started getting into it, and Badger got into it, and then they started fighting each other. And I had 2 of the puppies on leashes at my feet too, and they started wanting to get into it. So I just had to let the 4 older dogs fight and take the 2 that I had, the 2 pups I had, and chain them up by the fence or tie them up at the fence. And then I went back to break it up. And so they stopped after that, but nobody got seriously hurt. But it went on for a couple of minutes, and there was a little bit of blood, but so today I'm just separating them, and but then I'll get them back out in little groups again to make sure that nothing simmers, because it took me a while to get Badger and Samson out together, because I got them out one time a few weeks ago and they were okay, and then Badger decided to challenge Samson, and Samson was letting him sniff, passively, but then Badger got a little confident and took a nip at Samson, and then Samson just turned around and beat the crap out of him, and I had to pull him off. And then after that, they've been out together a couple of times off leash, and I thought it was okay, but when a dog fight starts, the excitement builds up and other dogs get into it, and it's actually a very dangerous situation. So so I think the next time I get them out, I'll probably just take 2 or 3 at a time and then build back up to 8. But the puppies are doing well with the off-leash thing, and I actually repaired about 50 feet of fencing over by the house so that I can let them out the door off leash, which is what I did today. And that actually makes it a lot easier for me. Instead of trying to bring out 4 dogs on the leash, I can just kind of get them in a sit position at the door, get them calm, and then open the door and let them out. And so that's what I did today. And they stayed in the front yard, and and then gathered by the door to the pasture like we always do. And then I got them calm again, and then opened the door and let them in. So steadily making progress. I just read an article this morning about a American XL bully in England that killed his dog walker. And yeah, I'll link the article later, but I read all these articles about people getting killed by dogs, and I try to learn from their mistakes, because even though the Kangals aren't like a very human aggressive breed, and also they're a land race breed, so their temperament is pretty stable, unlike some of these new hybrid super breeds that people have bred just for size and aggressiveness. I mean, the Bully XL is only a 15-year-old breed versus a 6,000-year-old breed. That's steadily been bred for temperament. And so, I mean, I've read articles or heard trainers that say they would never have like multiple dogs in the house loose without crates and things like that. And here I am, with up to 7 dogs in the house loose, because I started bringing Badger in again. And yeah, sometimes I think, maybe one day something will go wrong, I'll end up getting killed by my dogs or something. But even though I don't expect that from their temperament, I still do a lot of training on a regular basis. And one of the things I don't do is I won't play tug toys, with my dogs. And there's actually a safe way, a good way to play tug with your dogs, which is you use 2 identical toys, and you use it, like if they start tugging on it, when they get excited, then you get them to drop it, and then you bring out the other toy, and so you can use the tug to teach the drop command. But you see these people, clueless people that just play tug of war with a big dog and get them all riled up and excited, which is basically what this guy walking the dog in England was doing, And I read about this, and it's just like you feel bad for the people, but at the same time, you see all the mistakes they made. Like this guy in England, he was a dog walker for his friend's dog, and his friend had only gotten the dog like a couple of days later, and he bought this, I think it was 8-month-old, unsocialized Bully XL off of Snapchat from strangers, and he'd only had for a couple of days, and was talking about how gentle he is. And then he lets his friend, who only weighs like 100, and his friend weighed 100 pounds, the dog weighed 110 pounds, and he lets his friend walk the dog. And his friend goes to the park and has a rag and starts playing tug of war with his dog. And I guess the dog got excited, and next thing you know, the guy's yelling for help, and the dog had bitten him all over the neck and face. And so now, the friend is dead, the dog is dead, they put him down. And this dog walker, the one that died, he was like, they say like he's an experienced dog owner. He had Rottweilers before, but or a Rottweiler before. But I mean, how silly is that, to take a strange dog that you don't know, that your friend doesn't know, they've only had him for a couple of days, and then start playing tug of war with it, and you weigh less than the dog, But yeah, so like like dogs, well, of course, not everybody has as much room, to let the dogs play off leash. But the thing is, if you don't have the space, you shouldn't have one of these big giant dogs, It's like, one of the things, like one of the dog trainers I really respect, and talks about, dogs need mental stimulation, they need physical exercise, get their energy out, and they need discipline. And so, this is what I do. I try to let the dogs get as much exercise as they can, playing, running, chasing, fighting each other. But I don't get physical with them. because I don't want them to, even get the idea that it's okay to fight me physically, you know. And because these dogs, these Kangals, they weigh, I say the puppies are about 130 pounds now. The adults are like 140. And I've got, 8 of them. I'm in the house loose with 7 of them. And I've been bitten by one. So, and they have the strongest bite force of all the dogs. One bite was like 8 stitches or 8 staples, 1,600 in fees. And that was just one bite because, the female was in heat and I didn't know as much as I did now, like the other thing is I watch dog training videos daily and I work on stuff daily and I'm nowhere near where I need to be. I respect these dogs. I respect what they can do and I understand my limitations, and so but yeah, so, and I keep reading these articles about people making mistakes and try to avoid them. But yeah, so another guy died by a dog in England because he decided to play tug of war with a strange dog that weighs more than he did. Yeah. But anyway, so that's my rant for the day.